evening, everyone. It's me, Miss S here, and I'm sure you guys are a little anxious or excited about getting the gist of all of the changes to expect come next week. On Monday, March 1st, that's when we will start hybrid and virtual learning. So with that being said and done, I'm just going to kind of walk everyone through on what schedules may look like in the virtual setting, what they may look like in the hybrid setting, what those Wild Wacky Wednesday schedules look like, and all of that fun stuff. So with that being said, I'm just going to kind of walk everyone through. And as we're walking or going through all of this, I just want you guys to keep in mind that there could possibly be down the road changes to our schedules yet again, depending on if more students are returning hybrid or staying virtually. So I just kind of want you guys to always keep in mind to expect the unexpected and just stay flexible. But with that being said and done, these are the most recent updated schedules that your child will use if they are either in that virtual format or the hybrid setting. So basically, this is our schedule that I'm sure you guys are all aware of and have seen before. At the beginning of the school year, this was that Google Meet schedule where we had to kind of follow whether it was whole group setting or in that small group setting. So basically, anytime that we are looking at a schedule and you see this green colored background, that's just kind of symbolizing that this is a time frame whenever you see this color green, that we are all together as a whole class. Anytime you see like the yellow, the red, blue, purple, that's just more of that small group setting for phonics and reading. Also, too, down here, you'll notice if you take a look at specials that there has been a change with special areas. We are no longer going to have a special on Wednesday. So since we do have students returning in the hybrid format, Miss G will no longer be able to do Miss G read on Thursdays. So with that being said and done, on Monday we'll have music, Tuesday we'll have library, Thursday we'll have art, and then Friday we will all have PE. Anytime that you guys are looking at a schedule and you see this beige or tan color, that's just kind of symbolizing that we have awesome staff that work in our school and they have paired up with kindergarten this school year. So that just kind of gives us that additional support for small group setting as well. So when we're going through everything, I will let you guys know that Miss League will be, if your child is staying virtual, Miss League will be working during that math small group time with friends only on Mondays and Tuesdays. On Thursdays and Fridays, we will have Miss Danielle. Miss League is going to be returning to the pre-K hybrid setting on Thursdays and Fridays, so we will no longer have her on those days for that small group math time. So I'm about to just kind of walk everyone through all of the most recent changes. And again, with that Wednesday half-day schedule, whenever we have that Wild Wacky Wednesday, we'll all be together just like we are every morning for announcements and our class meeting. Then they will get a little break, and then we will jump into that group 1 and the group 2 phonics groups. And then down here, usually on Wednesdays, I work with kids individually or am around for additional support with Schoology activities and all of that fun stuff. So that's just kind of what our Wednesday looks like now. And as you notice, we do not have a special anymore on Wednesdays. So basically, I'm just going to kind of jump into what our schedules are looking like for our virtual friends. So in the virtual world, what you guys will notice, and again, these are schedules that I will send out to everyone individually through email. I'll also upload all of these on Schoology on our homeroom page under schedules, so that way you guys all have access to these as well. My goal is to get these delivered to everyone's house, so that way you guys just can, clip it on the refrigerator and it's a good reference sheet. So, with all of this being said, the only change for anyone who is still staying virtual is the Mondays and Tuesdays. That's kind of like our big significant change for our virtual friends. So, since Miss Pennington is going to be the teacher that is teaching those hybrid students on Mondays and Tuesdays, um, she is not going to be able to work with small group friends. So basically, if you're looking at this virtual schedule, you see that we're all together on Mondays and Tuesdays, and all the way to Friday. We're all together during that 9 to 9:45 time frame. Then on Mondays and Tuesdays, that's when your child will be um, kind of either divided into two groups. So, for example, you either have group one, which is the 10 o'clock phonics group, and then group two would be the 10:30 phonics group. I also just kind of wanted to point out too that anytime you see this little Google Meet picture, it just lets you know that you have to have a code in order to attend that course on the computer. Also too, if you are looking over here, you'll notice the time frames as well. So for shared reading, again, this is just that group one schedule. Um, Looking over here on Wednesday, that's kind of where we fall into those two groups as well. So we have that group one, which would start at 10, and then a group two would start at 10:30. Looking at Thursday and Friday is kind of just our smooth sailing schedule that we've been following so far this school year. So as you guys notice, for friends who are returning hybrid, they will have special areas with all of their friends. So special area teachers have decided to teach virtually and hybrid at the same time. So that will give them all that whole group connection here as well. So that's just kind of, this is just like a little snapshot of what the virtual schedules look like. And again, they're all individualized so everyone knows exactly what time to take a look at. I do want to point out though that if you're looking on the side, like for example, if you're looking at the phonics time frame, it lets you know the subject and the time. However, if you're looking at Wednesday, I have the time written in there because Wednesdays are wild and wacky and it's a short half day. So everyone is individualized. It has the Google Meet codes to follow along with. And if you are a parent that has decided or has reached out to the office recently and wants to have your child attend hybrid, that is not going to happen come next week. There is a time frame, I believe on March 22nd will be the next grouping of hybrid kids that can return to the building. Since each classroom is only allotted to have 12 students or 12 people in the room max, if you're a parent and you're like, man, I really want to send them, just keep in mind that they will not be as a whole class. They cannot have shared materials. We cannot use the playground equipment. So it's very individualized, which is why everyone has their own individual schedule as well. So I'm just kind of just skimming through all of these virtual schedules, and what I'm going to do is I am going to just kind of keep on going through, and here is where you guys will notice those schedules for hybrid. So any student that is returning to this building on Mondays and Tuesdays, this is the schedule that you will notice. And also too for parents, if your child is attending hybrid, there is a lot of important information that I want you guys to just kind of really focus in on, just because of all that's happening. So for our hybrid friends that are returning to the building on Monday, basically, since we have a lot of friends that are staying virtual and we have a handful of friends that are coming back to the building, Mrs. Hutchinson is amazing, and in order to provide each child in our school the best learning possibilities and opportunities as possible, just kind of teaching both hybrid and virtually is very difficult. So with that being said, on on Monday, on March 1st, when students are coming or starting hybrid, I am not going to be that teacher that's teaching those kids in the classroom. Miss Pennington is going to be the one that is having hybrid while I teach virtual kids. So basically, with that being said, any child in our class that is reporting to the building on Monday, they will go to room 13. Room 13 is important because during dismissal, that's where they will be leaving out of as well. So if your child is a walker, room 13 is that room number to keep in mind because you would be picking them up from that classroom door. So basically on Mondays and Tuesdays during the hybrid format, you will notice that from 9 to 9:45, they will come in, they'll have their whole arrival process and procedures, they'll have their breakfast, they'll listen to announcements, and all of that fun stuff. They'll also have some whole group instruction time, small group instruction time built in there. But however, what I really want you guys to really focus in on is this schedule is only going to look like this for Mondays and Tuesdays all the way up until March 12th. It is going to be an early dismissal until March 12th because with transportation, so anyone who's a bus rider, it just allows bus drivers to get the routes and everything solid and, scheduled correctly until March 12th. So this is kind of what it's going to look like for the hybrid kids. On Wednesdays through Friday, though, you'll notice that you see all of our Google Meet. So again, on Thursdays and Fridays, they'll still be following the same schedule. And as I mentioned before, hybrid friends will still have specials before that early dismissal with the rest of all of their friends. So anywho, so this is just kind of everyone's personal hybrid schedule. Again, they will be going to room 13, and it'll be Miss Pennington, Miss Gilliam are sharing a room. So if your child is in hybrid, they will be working closely with Miss Gilliam and Miss Pennington in room 13, whereas me and Miss Danielle are in room 2. And since we can't have, a lot of adults or a lot of people in one classroom, it just works out best to kind of have the separation. So basically each hallway is divided. One side of the hallway is virtual, one side of the hallway is hybrid. So if you are a parent, because I know every week the survey is getting sent out for everyone, if you are a parent that is interested in having them go hybrid, just know that there is not going to be a class where we're all together as a whole group. It'll just be broken up into very small group settings. So with that being said, if you are a hybrid parent, I just kind of really want you guys to take a look here because some of the things that we are requiring to send are supplies. So since everything is very individualized and we can't have shared materials, right now every child has their own individual basket with the supplies already in it. So like writing utensils, scissors, paper, glue, some notebooks, books. What I am requesting is if you are sending your child hybrid, please bring and label clothes. So that way we can keep them in their own bin. Nurse Miller is an awesome nurse. However, she is one person, and with trying to sustain all of the COVID regulations and everything, it is just a little crazy if your child has an accident or makes a mess with lunch. It can get a little crazy. So please definitely label and bring those supplies with your child on Monday. Also, too, kind of looking at all of this important stuff, we do have a lot of things. So when they start hybrid, they will get a free breakfast. I also suggest, too, kind of labeling your child like with a name tag because, when they come into the school building, it's been a long time since we've had school. They need a mask. They cannot enter the school building without wearing a mask. A mask will be required every day. they are not eating lunch in the cafeteria. So if I were you, I would definitely practice having them open containers for lunch. And since our cafeteria is closed, we will not have a la carte. So we won't have ice